So the truth is that by January 1st, 2026, the Nigerian tax system will completely change. And the law that has been written, nothing can change it right now, because the tax rate are being reduced for some, there's been exemption added for others, and the truth is that there's going to be a brand new Nigerian Revenue Service which will replace the current FIRS, which is the Federal Inland Revenue Service. So if you're asking, should you register a business name or a company registration, which one is going to help you, be at an advantage for your registration, then you should watch this video from the beginning to the end. So the first thing I would like to mention is this, that a business name registration is a simpler registration. It is cheaper to set up with a fewer compliance requirements. It is perfect for sole proprietors and all small business owners. While a company registration like the limited liability company is more formal, right? It gives your business a separate legal identity, and it's better if you plan to scale for those who are investors, who want to get investors into their company, or they want to work with corporate clients. So the company registration will be better for these people. Now both have their place, right? But the new tax law makes the difference clear. So there is difference between these two businesses, either the business name or the company registration. But the point is that you must understand which one you should go for that will allow you to be at an advantage when this actual tax law comes into action. So how the 2026 tax law affect the small businesses, for instance. Now, under the new laws, if your business makes less than 100 million per year and your assets are below 250 million, you are exempted from corporate income tax, that is the CIT, and the capital gain tax as well, which is the CGT, and the new development levy. So you are free from those three levies if your business makes less than 100 million per year and your asset is below 250 million naira. Now that means that whether you run a business name or a company registration, small businesses are protected, no heavy taxes, no multiple levies. But meanwhile, what does your business says about you? We're going to be looking at that in subsequent parts of this video. But the tax rate for companies is defined as follows. Now, if you're running a big company that grosses about 100 million in annual turnover, so the corporate income tax will drop from 30% to 25% starting from 2026. You will pay development fee or levy, which starts at 4%, which is going to be reducing to 2% by 2030. Now, if you make capital gains, say you sell shares or properties, right, the CGT on that will be taxed at 30%. So that means if you make about 100 million, you'll be delivering 30 million to the federal government. So companies pay more tax once the company grows big, but they also gain credibility, access to investors, and eligibility for big contracts. Now, what about business names? Now, take note that one of the things that business name registration does not do for you is that it doesn't separate you from the business you are running. The company registration is a legal entity on its own, and it separates the owner of the business from the business itself. So the business itself is a legal entity and it pays tax. While for the business name, it doesn't separate you from the business, and that is going to be a disadvantage to you if you own a business name registration. Now, what do I mean? This is what I'm trying to say. If I have a business name registration done, I've opened an account in the business name, and currently I'm running business on that particular business name, and I make more than 800,000 per year on that business, I will not be exempted per year now, not in a month. If I make over 800,000 naira as profit, right, that's my total income from the business after I've removed my expenses, which the law defines. Don't forget, the law defines some specific expenses, but your 800,000 naira per year, once it moves beyond 800,000 naira per year, right, that is, you are going to be paying tax. So above that, you pay a progressive tax of 25% above. Now, this is simpler for business scale operators, for small scale operators, right? Fashion designers, shop owners, freelancers who don't want to the stress of filing company tax return. But let me break this down for you guys to understand. if you own a company registration, you are going to be at an advantage, because all you'll be paying is the company income tax, which is going to be meaning that you will only be able to file that when you have an asset of about 250 million and you have a business turnover of about 100 million naira. That's when you pay the company income tax. But if you have a business name, you are going to be paying whatever comes into the business itself as the tax. So if, for instance, I earn 100,000 naira every month for the next 12 months, and that as in profit, right? 100,000 naira every month as in profit, that will be amounting to 1.2 million naira at the end of the year. So the law doesn't see me as someone who is in the needy part, right? It's going to tax me about 25% of that 1.2 million naira. So imagine removing 25% of 1.2 million naira. That is going to be a lot of money that will be going down the drain. So the best thing, if such a business had a company registration done, they will just be looking forward to pay company income tax, and they will be paying themselves salary from the business. And so the calculation of the salary will be done in such a way that it doesn't exceed this. And some of us doing small business, we don't actually spend more than that. So you have to make sure that you put yourself at an advantage so that the tax law will not hit you on the head, right? So the best thing I'm going to do for my business, for instance, now, I'm going to register in a business. I have my business limited already. So I am paying myself salary from the business. So for instance, I pay myself 50,000 naira per month from the business. That means that all I'm spending for the month is 50,000 naira for my business. Let's say my wife is part of my business, I also pay her 50,000 naira. Let's say let's say my child, I have 2 children or so that are part of the business, I also pay them 50,000 naira. So you can see that I've paid about 3 people some sort of salary from the business, right? So that is the consideration for my business, and that will be an expenses for my business. And don't forget, I'm not paying any company income tax if I have not been able to make a profit of 100 million and I have not been able to have an asset of over 250 million. And the truth is that most business owners have not gotten to this level of making up to 100 million naira per year, right? So why pay tax on the little money that you are making for yourself? And that money is not even tangible enough, because 1.2 million naira at the end of the month at the end of the year is going to be insignificant, because you calculate what you spend on feeding and everything, right? So the best structure that works for you is the company registration. So no matter how small your business is, the best option is to go for a company registration. So let me sum up my write-up very quickly. So the tax, what about the business name? So I've already explained what happens to the business name. So here's the practical guide. So you choose a business name if you are just starting out, right? Your turnover is small and you want to avoid heavy compliance. You will be taxed personally, and if you earn below 800k, you pay nothing. That is if you have a business name. So you choose a company if you want a structured business that can scale, get contracts, attract investors, or handle large revenue. Even though you will face more tax obligations, once you grow, you will face more tax obligations. You also get legal protection and credibility for your business. Take note of that. Now, so should you register a business name or a company name? Now, if you are small and just testing the waters for a particular business brand, just go for a business registration. But if you are serious about the business and you see that this business has potential, you can upscale the business or upgrade the business to a company registration so that you can build long-term wealth and work with big clients to go for a company registration, right? So the good news is that the 2026 law, both options are much fairer than before, and you have more chance of building a credible business with a company registration. So how this video have actually helped you? If it has, give this video a thumbs up, and make sure that you do more studies on the tax law for 2026. It's going to hit some people suddenly, and I believe you are not going to be, I hope that you're not going to be part of them. So watch this video. I'm making more videos on the tax law and educating as many people as possible on what it entails and how you can be on the safest side of the law. My name is Ezekiel, and let's see you in the next video. Thank you.